Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. Today we're doing an educational video because Bentley's angry because he's locked out. I let him in, he went right back out. Alright, so you guys remember last week or so, I was talking about, I had project bags hanging up here and I didn't remember all what was in them because it had been a while. Well, it occurred to me what was in one of those bags. And it's a corner to corner blanket that I started. Okay? Corner to corner is the easiest project in the entire world. And I just was not feeling it. I was not feeling it. And so I put the hook, I put the yarn, the project, all in a project bag, and I put it on punishment because I just didn't want to deal with it. And I don't know why. And I'm like, why? Why can I not figure out how to do? I've made 100 corner to corners. Corner to corner is one of my favorite blankets. It works up fast. It's a bulky weight yarn. It should have been done. Should have been done months ago. So I pull the bag out and I'm like, you know what? I kind of am in the mood because the yarn is really, really pretty. This is Lilo N's. I don't know what yarn this is. Okay? Because every time I show this yarn, somebody's like, I love it. It looks like and feels like Premier Puzzle. I bought it from Premier Yarns, but it's not a colorway of puzzle I'm familiar with. So I'm just going to say all of that. Now, I figured out, after letting it sit in punishment for a while, figured out why I didn't like it. I figured out the problem I was having. It was the hook. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is why it is important to have more than one kind of hook in your stash. And I know some of you are going to disagree with me because you are die-hard Susan Bates. The puppies are angry. I just got home from picking up medicine for one of the puppies because she's got a UTI. And they are in their crate and they are not happy. So if you hear them yipping, there ain't nothing wrong with them puppies. Ain't nothing wrong with them puppies. I didn't greet them when I came in, and that's my fault. Because I was supposed to do this video, and I got the call, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go pick up medicine. I gotta drive over to the thing, and it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. Right. So I pull out the hook that was in this. Now, like I said, it's important to have more than one kind of hook. You might be a die-hard Susan Bates fan. That's fine. I like Susan Bates. You might be die-hard. I am boy and only boy. There's certain hooks that people are like, I only use the little metal sticks. I don't know why I converted my voice to old lady voice right there. I only use this. I can't do it now that my brain is thinking about it. I only use the metal sticks. And I get that. I do, because I do have the hooks that I reach for first and foremost. I really like these hooks. These are from WeCrochet. These are really good hooks. They're the dots hooks from WeCrochet. I got this far with the dots hook. But something about the whole process of this, I was like, I was struggling with it. I wasn't having a good time with my yarn. The whole project just felt icky and yucky, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out why. So that's why I got put in timeout. When I pulled it out and I started using this hook, I was like, that's why I don't like it. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. Is there anything wrong with these dots hooks? No, I love them. I use them quite often. They are my favorite hooks in the smaller end of hooks, like, because they only go up to like 6mm, and I have been using a lot of like 7, 8, 9, 10mm. So when I'm using the smaller hooks, I use these a lot. I like these way more than I thought I would. Okay, and I'm like, okay, it's just not grabbing the yarn right. It's just not grabbing the yarn right, and I think it's because the it's time for my son to go to bed. That tells you the kind. If you knew the kind of day I had today, it has been a day from hell. I'm just gonna say that it's been one thing after another. I will probably talk about that while I'm crocheting up some, because I want to show you the difference in hooks. Okay. This part is just not deep enough for the yarn that I'm using, because we got some chunky yarn, right? 6mm hook works for this yarn just fine. I mean, it's only, although this says it's a 4 weight. This feels more like a 5 weight. This is, it's on the thick side of a 4 weight, and it feels like I'm working with puzzle, and I'm gonna pull puzzle down and mix it in with this in a few minutes, but yeah, it just was not working out with this hook. So we're gonna go down to the table, and I'm gonna show you why it is important to have different types of hooks, because some yarns and some hooks just are not compatible for whatever reason. It could be the way you hold your hook. It could be the way you twist your hook when you're pulling the yarn. It could be, there's 100 different reasons why a yarn and a hook might not go together. So let's go down to the table and I'll show you what I mean. Alright, I'm going to take my hoodie off because my sleeves are going to get in the way a little bit. Alright, now I attached a new ball of yarn because I ran out. Now, this is what I mean. Now if you look, well, let's see, let's get that in focus. If you look right here, you see how there's just not enough room in there for the yarn to sit in there properly. So when I'm working with this, I just felt like I was fighting it a little bit much. A little bit much, yeah. I just felt like I was fighting it. I wasn't crocheting as quickly or as smoothly. I was having to be more careful of where I put the hook, and it just wasn't, it's not horrible, it just felt like there was something off with it. And I didn't realize that until I put it on punishment and I brought it back out, and I was like, wait a minute. You guys see the difference in how deep it is right there? Now when I put my hook in there, look, that fully encompasses that. And actually it kind of dwarfs the yarn a little bit. So I can go a little bit faster and not worry about my yarn slipping out. And it just makes my crocheting a little bit smoother. I also, the size of the shaft makes a difference. So see how this shaft is a little bit shorter and this shaft is like a whole, that's almost an inch longer. It gives me more room the way I crochet. See how I'm like really using that shaft? And it's just, and it's not everybody crochets like I do. Not everybody needs to crochet like I do. Not everybody needs to like the same hooks that I do. But it was so crazy to me. And I'm like, I have said on the channel 100 times before, like if you're not enjoying the project or the yarn and you're blaming the yarn, try switching your hook. It might make all the difference in the world. If your yarn is splitty, if it's like too much, like if it's like pulling, like if it's really snagging on your hook, if there's drag on your hook, or sometimes if your hook is too slippery and you keep sliding out of your stitches, which we have seen me do 100 times in tutorials, switch hooks. Switch hooks up. It could make all the difference in the world. And not too, you could have two yarns that are like really similar, okay? And there might be just a slight difference in either the way that the yarn is twisted or the texture of the yarn, or maybe one yarn is a little scratchier, one yarn's a little more silky. And even though the yarns look alike and they feel alike, it might make a difference if you change the hook, if one is like more splitty. And that's another thing, is like splitting is a real big deal. So with this type of hook particularly, if it's splitting too much because this is real sharp or because that's real sharp, I will know that this hook will work better. Because while this has a nice pointed head, it looks like Candace from Phineas and Ferb. Doesn't she look like Candace? It's more smooth and rounded off, whereas this is more pointy. And sometimes that'll make a difference. And this part right here is not sharp at all. So that's why you will see Cinnamon Stitches switch hooks frequently. I am not a one hook woman at all. I highly encourage you to try out different hooks. And it doesn't have to be these bougie fancy hooks. Like this was just something Mr. Cinnamon traded for me for one of the holidays or something. By the way, because I know I'm going to get asked, this is a Merit hook. It is available on Amazon. I will either link it below or you can check out my Amazon shop. It is in there always. But these are, I'm affiliated with all of my crocheted hooks. So I'm going to be real honest. This one is an Amazon purchase. Very frequently you will see me use acrylic hooks. These are also Amazon. These are Omi hooks, and I have them in lots of styles. I also use these a lot, and these I'm not affiliated with. These are Susan Bates twist and lock hooks. I just really like them. I like the head on them because they're sharp here and they got a deep throat and they're sharp here, and they're easily interchangeable. And all of these are in my side drawer. These are all the hooks I've used in the past month. And a couple of ink pens. Because when I get done using a hook, I put it there so that in case I need to remember what hook I used last, it's right there. And also, I don't want to have to go into my file folder and dig out hooks every time. Someone else asked me, like, how do you store your hooks? Well, the most recent hooks are stored in my side drawer in that plastic thing. And this plastic thing's from the Dollar Tree. It's just a plastic bin. This is, I don't remember where I got that from. I think that came with thread in it. And then someone else asked me, how do you store all your hooks? Because I know you got a lot of them. This is also, I didn't plan on showing this in this video. I was just going to talk about my crochet hooks. This is available on Amazon. It is a pencil holder. These were given to, well, the first one was given to me by a wonderful subscriber of this channel. I store all of my hooks in here. It's a pencil case, and there's lots of room, and I have a whole video on this, so if you're curious, this is how I store my hooks. It's padded. It keeps them protected and divided from each other and not banging off each other when they're being stored. And I have two of these. I have the honey one and I have the avocado one. Those are available on Amazon. These are things you could add to your Christmas list, people. Different types of hooks. And that hook, it's a pencil case, but the hook case, just to give you an idea. But I was working on this. I was sitting on the couch, and once I realized that this was a no-go, that pen was a no, or it's not a pen. That crochet hook was a no-go, and I realized that it was the hook that was giving me problems. I have no problem sitting here and working on this blanket now, because it feels better to work with this hook as opposed to the last hook. And I just wanted to come on and remind you guys that if you're working on a project and you have to put it in punishment, like this blanket had to be put in punishment, it might be the tools that you're using. And now, like I said, you don't have to go buy a hook. I think this hook was $12.50 because it was 2 for $25. That's what Mr. Cinnamon paid for these. 2 of these beauties for $25. You don't have to pay it for a $25 hook. You can just go get some different size hooks at, sometimes you can find them at the thrift store, but it's very rare to find crochet hooks. You can find knitting needles aplenty at a thrift store. Crochet hooks are a little harder to come by. But go to Joann's and see what they have available. They have a lot of hooks that are a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there. And just try it out in your favorite size. Go to Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby has hooks. Matter of fact, see if I can find it. Because I don't know where I put it. Hobby Lobby has the hooks that are a dupe for, these are the Prim, but Hobby Lobby has hooks that are very similar to this. And I did a side-by-side comparison. They're basically the same hook. Hobby Lobby has hooks like that. They're pretty good hooks. They're not my favorite, but they're pretty good hooks. I'm making a mess in my drawer. Making a whole mess. Alright. Just go out and look and see what hooks and test them out. Me personally, I like longer hooks because I have kind of wide hands. And I also have the alien finger. There's like a weird dent there. I must hold my crochet hook. No, that's where my finger is. I had a dent from my finger pushing into my thumb. Or my pinky. That's funny. I like longer hooks personally because I can't stand the hook hitting me on the inside of my palm right here. And so I like the hooks that come out past my hand, which is what you will see me use most often. But a lot of you have complained that you don't like my hooks because they're too long. I've tried. I don't like furls. I don't like Omi. I don't like... there's other hooks on the market that are much shorter that I hate and can't use that you might like. There is Tulip and there is... what's that other brand? I have quite a few of them and I don't like them personally. I don't like short hooks. I like long hooks. And I tend to prefer the resin hooks as opposed to anything else. Like, I'm not a big fan of wood hooks. These Merit hooks, however, are just really smooth and nice. These are one of the very few wood hooks that I will use. But yeah, I wanted to come on and remind you, if you're working on a project and you just cannot, like it feels yucky for some reason, or you're struggling, the yarn is pulling, the yarn is snagging, the yarn is splitting, it just might be your crochet hook. And it's okay to change your crochet hook out. Now, what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to switch this out because I want to put some white in this blanket. I'm going to put some white in here. And I'm thinking the puzzle, because this reminds me of the puzzle, but since this says it's number 4, I don't know if the puzzle is going to work. Only one way to find out. Get the puzzle white out. And that may be why this was in, this one was in a mill-end bag, because maybe it is supposed to be a 5 weight. Let's see. It's awfully close. Are we not focusing? Let's see. Let's try it. This is the puzzle solid in the color white. You know, I asked Mr. Cinnamon to please be quiet. I don't think that man knows how to be quiet. I'm untangling the white. Alright. Let's attach the white and see. Because I'm curious. I just think this white is going to look so pretty. It feels a little bit thicker. A little bit thicker. It doesn't feel like one's a 4 and one's a 5. It feels like maybe one's a 4.5 and one's a 5. You know, we'll have to see. But I definitely feel like, and if this don't work, I have more white that I can use. This is almost a yellow white, slightly yellowed. It's not like true white. But it's not cream either. Yeah, this feels thicker. This might not work. Might not work. And I can tell because the way it's feeling on my hook, it's filling up this area more. It's making it a little thicker in there. And this is exactly what it felt like with that other hook. So even if I didn't have a different hook brand, going up a hook size may have made a difference in those hooks, but those hooks don't come in bigger than 6mm. So while I'm sitting here crocheting, I'm going to tell you about my day if you don't mind. I know this is supposed to be about crochet hooks and stuff, but it's been one of those days, so we're going to talk, alright? We're going to call this crochet and chit chat for the end of the video. I didn't sleep last night, like, at all. I did not sleep at all last night. I was up every 20 minutes all night long for no reason at all. I just couldn't sleep. And that is something that currently, well, not currently. That's something that frequently happens with me. It used to be a real problem when I was younger. I had really bad insomnia. It's an ADHD symptom of your brain constantly waking you up for something. like to tell you something stupid, or like, you know, my hands were hurting, or like I just kept waking up last night. Nightmares, all kinds of reasons. So I had to sleep. I woke up at 7 o'clock for the morning, and usually I can sleep until 8, and that works just fine, you know. But no, I woke up, and the puppies were also up a couple of times last night barking. And so that woke me up several times. Aside with all the other reasons, my brain was waking me up. I get up this morning, take the puppies out, and I noticed the past couple of days that Poncho, the puppy that Juju is going to adopt, is not peeing a whole lot at once. She's peeing like little bits at a time. Like, well, maybe she's just not drinking enough water because she's sharing it with her brothers, and her brothers are greedy. Even though she's clearly eating more than them because she's fatter than the two of them. And then I brought them in, and they were acting kind of weird. Yeah, I think this is thicker. It looks like it's gonna be too thick. Well, I may have to switch it out. Get a thinner yarn. Because I can tell you right now that's not going to work. I thought for sure that was the safest puzzle, but I was wrong. So, go about my business. The puppies eat. Little man tells me he took his medicine, which he did not. He's been doing frequently where he tells me he took it. He doesn't want to take a second one because I'll die if I take too many. But he's not taking it at all. And I can tell within the first hour or two whether he took it or not. And yeah, he did not take it. And my entire day was a series of him being out of control, crazy. So I'm going to flip this around so we can talk, because I hate when, like, you don't need to stare at my hands. Hang on. Alright. The lighting is terrible in here. It's dark outside. It's late. It's past bedtime. So, like I was saying, I knew I had to start school, and in the mornings it's been kind of frantic because of the puppies, whatever. And then they'd let me know, oh, Saturday they go up for adoption, they get listed. Like, wait a minute, they have not had their shots yet. So Friday they go get their shots. This upcoming Friday they go get the puppies get their shots. Saturday I have to drop them off so they can get neutered and spayed. Cool. But they're also being listed for adoption on Saturday. And then I started to have a little bit of a panic moment. I'm like, oh my god, like there's so much that, like, I have to take pictures of them. I have to write a biography for them. I have to say goodbye to them. And it was like all of it was crashing down. I'm going to tell you, I don't think I'm going to foster again because this has been a hard experience. Like, it's been emotional, but with them being sick constantly. And that leads me back to Poncho. I make breakfast and I sit down to eat it. And it was literally just a gluten-free grilled cheese sandwich that was all of this big. That's all I was going to have for breakfast. I sat down and take a bite, and Juju is holding Poncho, and Poncho is whimpering and whining. I was like, she might need to go outside. So I take her to the back deck, and she squats to go tinkle, and a little tiny puddle, you know. She walks a couple little steps, squats again, blood. Does it again, blood, 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 blood. Little droplets. It's like, then little man in his craziness is running around the house screaming because the puppies got loose, and he's chasing them and yelling, and like it was this huge cluster of like, I'm gonna lose my mind. I took one bite of my sandwich at this point, and I'm like, all right. So that calms down. I contact them. I'm like, hey, something's wrong with the dog. She's bleeding. You know, she's whimpering when she pees. She's not peeing full pees. They're like, all right, we need a picture. Send a picture over of the little tiny blood droplets on the deck. We'll see what we can do. And the way that it works is they have to contact someone else to get approval to go to the clinic to get medicine, which comes in generic bottles, which is another thing entirely. I'll tell you about that, right? Sit down with little man, and at this point I thought he took his medicine. Like, I didn't realize yet. Like, he's still kind of off, but I wasn't realizing he had not taken his medicine. He's really struggling with the concept of, we're doing fractions and we're rounding the fractions. And it was easy on a good day with his medication. Like, he would have got it immediately. But he's like, and he's just, what he does is he spouts random numbers, which irritates me to no end. Like, where are you getting 8 twelfths, 21 50ths, 112 over 6? Like, the numbers he's saying makes no sense. And I'm getting more and more frustrated with him. Like, stop. And he's shouting the numbers at me, like, just randomly. Like, and I know it's not entirely his fault, but he's irritating me. The question was, round it to the nearest half. And I said, Lucas, what is a half? How do you write a half? 1 over 2. You're rounding it to the nearest half. 5/16, 8 over 60. Like, random numbers. Like, and I'm like, a half. It's a half. The answer is a half. And he just looked like every other number in the world. And I'm like, breathe, breathe, breathe. Are you sure you took your medicine? I think I took my medicine. He didn't take it. He did not take it. He did not take it. And I told him, I said, you are not allowed to take that medicine without me standing there watching you. Because he's done this to me a couple times. I already took it. No, he did not. He did not. Take it and don't touch that medicine unless I'm standing right there. Don't do it. And then we got through school, which was a miracle. And then it just was puppy bedlam all day long. Bentley's back to throwing up. Don't know why. It doesn't seem like anything's wrong with him. He just will randomly throw up. And it's not big amounts, and it's just, it's been one thing after another with a tornado of a child running through the house screaming and yelling. And it wasn't like, it was just, he was just when a normal kid plays, but screaming it. Like, everything was like, and I'm so, and then Juju's like, I'm going to my boyfriend's house. And so now it's just me and Lucas and the 6 dogs. And Bentley was acting a fool at the fence, barking at the kids next door, and they are leaning, and it's the grandkids. It's the grandkids. They're leaning, climbed up onto the wooden privacy fence, leaning all the way over the yard at Bentley. And I went out there and I was like, he is tall enough to jump up and bite your face. Don't do that. It is not safe. I'm so sorry. Where are your guardians? Because not that I think Bentley at all would bite their face, but if you're teasing the dog and he's already not listening and he's running back and forth on the fence, biting the fence and acting a fool. So I had to bribe Bentley in the house with beef jerky because I'm out of dog snacks, because the dogs have eaten me out of snacks. Completely out of dog treats. And so it was like that all day. It was one thing and another thing. And I tried to sit down to play Dreamlight Valley because I had a few minutes where nothing needed to be done. And I'm like, I'll make a video later. You can see that it's nighttime. It's very dark outside. That's outside. This black strip is outside. They finally get back to me about the dog medicine. Like, well, I'll be there after 5. I'll drop it off and you can come pick it up. Okay, cool. 7 o'clock rolls around. Okay, you can come pick it up. Come in through the laundry room. I have the access code because I'm officially a volunteer. And I'll put it on the shelf in the laundry room. I go, and it's 7. I'm like, I never made a video for tomorrow. So I come in here, I start to do this video talking to you guys about the hooks because I thought it was important to tell you guys, like, it's important to have tools. Good tools. And it doesn't have to be, like I said, it doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to be, you have to have a variety of tools for different projects and different yarns and different stitches sometimes. And like, it all makes a difference. And I sat down, I turned my ring light on. I got everything in here and I got the notification. I've also had stomach issues all day. Like, I just have not, like, I'm really not feeling good. I, in the process of all this crap, made a delicious turkey dinner. I bought a turkey breast from the store. I made gravy to go with it. I made green beans. Like, it was so good. I made gluten-free stuffing to go with it. Gluten-free stuffing tasted fishy for some reason. Don't have a clue why. But everything else was delicious. I threw the stuffing out, didn't like it. And it's the Aldi brand. I usually like it. It just for some reason tasted fishy tonight. Don't have a clue what happened there. So we run up there and get the pill bottles, which are human colored prescription bottles. One of which had little foil packets in it, tucked into a prescription bottle. And the other one just had white powder in a prescription bottle that is colored for humans. Now, I watch enough crime documentaries to know. Had we got pulled over, we would have had the drug dogs surrounding our car. They'd have been testing that powder. They'd have been opening up those foil packets, which are just dog antibiotics and probiotics. I actually had to make a video and send it to Juju because I was like, this is some drug crap. Like, they gave me, and I showed her, is a human pill bottle, like the tan color, because pet prescriptions come in blue bottles. It's tan, like the human prescription bottle, like the big one, the label's been ripped off. They put masking tape on it to say what was what. And there's foil packets in one. And white powder in the second one. And I was like, oh god, this is so beyond ridiculous. And then to help the day, ooh, do you hear my jaw pop? That was crazy. That was loud. To make the day a little bit better on the way home from all that, because I am so on edge today. I'm so overstimulated and just on edge. And I can't seem to get anything done, and like I'm running in circles, and like the noise level of the house just... What? Can you just give me a minute to finish this video? He needs to go to bed so bad. For his own safety. Just go to bed. Just go to bed. Mr. Cinnamon decided on the way home from picking up the medication, because he was like, why don't you just go up there? I'm like, you want me to drive up to a vacant building by myself at this time of night and go into an empty building by myself that requires a code to get in? He's all, no. I'm like, I'm not driving up there by myself. You're taking me. So on the way home, he decided to drive by a Christmas house that he saw last week or a couple days ago or something. It was beautiful. They decorated every inch of their house and their yard. It was just so pretty. And he happened upon it last week with Little Man. And so we drove out that way. He showed me the house, and then we stopped at CVS and got Little Man a bag of chips. And now I'm going to end this video here because I need to edit and upload this video still tonight. And I need to make sure that he gets in bed. And I'm going to find some white yarn. And I'm going to work on this. I'm going to put some progress in. Isn't this pretty? It's so pretty. I should just turn it into, look at, a cold shoulder shirt. Wouldn't that be beautiful? I will be so glamorous. Now I'm going to make a blanket. I have 4 more balls of this. And if I find some white, I know that I have some. I will put some progress into this, and then I'm going to take a good long sleep, and hopefully I sleep tonight. And with that, I'm going to put on a separate video for premiere week. The last day is today. I'm going to put that up at noon. It's just going to be a quick little short. And then we're going to end out premiere week at noon. And I'm planning something for Black Friday because I got the heads up on some stuff for Black Friday. So with that, I'm going to tease you with that. And I'm going to let you guys go. And I hope you have a fantastic day today. I hope today's way better than... I hope the day you're watching this is way better than the day I had today. And I hope my day tomorrow is better. I hope my day tomorrow is better. With that, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.